Hello again. We are doing special right triangles today. So we're finding missing side lengths of a right triangle, right? Again, that's the big idea for the whole chapter. Today we're going to learn shortcuts when we have two special kinds of right triangles. The first one is a 45, 45, 90, and that's referring to the angles. And then the other one is a 30, 60, 90. Okay, today you might be confused, and I expect you to be confused. But like anything else in life, when you learn something, it's confusing, but when it clicks, it's going to be easy and you guys will enjoy these, okay? So bear with me. It will be fine. Again, we're spending a couple days on this, so don't fret if you're someone who worries because it's not worth it. But just hang with me, all right? We'll just see how it goes. So again, we're just looking for missing side lengths in these two kinds of special right triangles. So we're going to start with the easier one. And that is the 45, 45, 90 right triangle. Okay, so again, these are referring to these angle measures. So let's just talk about this triangle real quick together. Since I have two base angles that are the same, we know it's isosceles, right? So then I know that this side here is equal to this side here. Okay. And again, from our last lesson, those are our legs of our right triangle. And this is obviously our hypotenuse because it's across from that right angle. Okay, so we just kind of broke down the anatomy of this specific right triangle. So instead of having to do the Pythagorean theorem every single time, because you could for these problems, we're going to learn some shortcuts so you can just look and be like, oh, now I know the other three sides. And you're going to be like, dang, I'm smart, right? We all love a shortcut. We all love being efficient and quick at things. And we're going to learn how to do that today. Okay, so our legs in this triangle, like our formula for it, is just x. I should probably use a different color now. Okay, is just x. And since they're the same, they're both x, okay? So our formula for that, our leg is just x. So if you knew your leg, let's say it was 5, you could easily find the two other sides of this triangle. How you would find your hypotenuse if you knew the leg is you take your leg, so our x, times the square root of 2. So x root 2. X root 2. So I don't know if you want to highlight, star, put a smiley face, a stick figure, or whatever. This is your formula. This is it, guys. Okay? So again, now we're going to try some examples of either being given the leg or the hypotenuse, and then we're going to be able to find the missing sides. Okay? So let's try. Maybe I'm going to go like this, since it's not going to be on the board. Okay. Can we still see all of this? Cute. I love that. All right. So on this first example, this should be the first one in your notes, is right here, I hope. We are given 8. Now we have to decide, what is 8? Is 8 a leg or a hypotenuse? Well, we should be able to tell that this is a leg, right? Because y is across from our right angle. So this is a leg. And now we're going to easily be able to find x and y. So since this is 8, so is x, because it's also a leg. So that's 8. And now to find y, well, my hypotenuse says my leg times root 2. So here's my leg value. It's 8. So now I'm just going to attach that root 2 onto it. And now I'm done. Is that so bad? Was that hard? I hope not. Okay, let's try this one. Same idea. We have to identify what's 25. Is 25 a leg or a hypotenuse? And I hope you're thinking with me, this is definitely a leg, because here's our hypotenuse. So now what other side is 25? Y. Yes, good job. I knew you were thinking that. Kudos to you. Woo woo. Okay. Now to find your hypotenuse, right here, we just take our leg times root 2. So 25 root 2. Perfect. Super job. Okay, one more example with our 45, 45, 90. I'm sure you probably assumed it was going to be one like this. So this time we have to figure out what's 19. 19 is indeed our hypotenuse, right? Because it's across from that right angle. So now we have to work backwards to get our leg. So folks, you're smart kids, just think about this. I know this x root 2 equals my hypotenuse. So what's your hypotenuse in this example? It's 19. So I'm going to write 19 equals x root 2. Now our goal is we want to get x by itself, just like any other equation we've solved before. So let's solve it. How do you undo times by root 2? Well, we divide by root 2. Divide by root 2. So now it's nice. These root 2 say, see you later. They're gone. So now I'm just left with our x, which is what we wanted. But now there's a little problem. So right now this is where we're at. 19 over root 2. We have some weird rules in math where you can't have a radical in the denominator. So that's this symbol right here, that square root, that's called a radical. And you may have went over this in Algebra 1 and you may not have. It. Again, last year was a weird year. It's just like in the English language, you capitalize the first letter of every sentence. So it's just like a rule, right? So we're not allowed to keep this down here. So we got to fix it. We got to make it right. And how do you make it right? Well, we multiply by a special version of 1 is technically what you're doing, because really, if you were to do root 2 over 2, it would just be 1, right? So I'm not changing the value of this. I'm just kind of manipulating it in our favor, I suppose you could say. So whatever's down here in the denominator, you multiply by that over itself. Okay, so that's why I have root 2 over root 2, because that's what's in the denominator. So now when I do this, remember you multiply across with fractions. I'm going to have 19 root 2 over, now when you have a radical times a radical, you multiply the numbers on the inside together. So 2 times 2 is square root of 4. But what is the square root of 4? 2. It's 2. See what happened there? So really, if you were to type in 19 divided by square root of 2 and this 19 root 2 over 2 in your calculator, you would get the exact same answer. We just changed it so it was proper, okay? So now we're done. I mean, you could see, is 19 divisible by 2? No, I mean, you get a decimal. We would rather just have whole numbers, so we're just going to leave it like this. So we just found our leg is 19 root 2 over 2. And y would be the same because our legs are the same. Again, we will go over multiple examples next time I see you in class. I just want you guys to see it first before we do that, okay? All right. Let's shift to 30, 60, 90 triangles. All right, folks. Here we are. Okay, so again, the 30, 60, 90 is referring to those angle measures in this right triangle. And we had a little bit of practice with this last week or earlier in the week, depending on if you're A or B, labeling short, long, and hypotenuse, right? So that's kind of what's going to happen here. So in this triangle here, your short leg is always going to be across from that 30-degree angle, which should make sense, right? Your shortest side will be across from your smallest angle. So we're going to call this guy our short. Your longer leg is across from your 60-degree angle. So that's right here. Long leg. And then, of course, our hypotenuse is always across from that right angle. So hype. All right. So now let's jot down our formulas, which will make our shortcuts, I suppose, right? Those are our shortcuts. So everything is based around our short leg. So to make things easier for us, we just call it X. Our short leg is kind of like home base. That is where everything's based around. So if you know your short leg, your long leg is just your short leg times the square root of 3. Kind of weird. I know. Root 3. Your short leg times root 3. But your hypotenuse is just, you're just doubling your short leg. It's just twice as big. So 2 times your short leg, or 2x. So again, if we were given any one of those three sides, using our formulas, our generic formulas here, we are able to work backwards to get the other missing two sides. So make sure you have these written down. Everything's based off of this short leg. X, short leg times root 3, and twice your short leg. Okay, do my little fold job here. Here we go, kids. Let's see how we do. Not ideal. Okay, that should be fine. So step 1, label your sides, okay? 5 would be your short leg, right? Because this would be your 30-degree angle here. So I'm going to put an S. X would be our long leg. Y would be our hypotenuse. So now this one's pretty easy because they give us our short leg, right? We already know what our X is. Now everything's based off of this leg. So now we just plug in. If I want to find my longer leg, if I look here, kids, look. It's just your short leg, so 5 times square root of 3. So 5 root 3. If I want my hypotenuse, I just double my short leg, right? Two x's, so 2 times 5 is 10. And now we're done. Woo! Love it. Let's try a very similar example, but this time they just rotated it to try to trick you, but you guys are smarter than that. So again, label your sides. It will make your life easier. So 14 is across from our 30, so it's our short. Y is our long leg. And X is our hypotenuse. So since they were very kind to us, they gave us the short leg. Everything else is pretty easy from here. Your long leg, if we look here, is just your short times root 3, so 14 root 3. And your hypotenuse is just twice 14. So 14 times 2, 28. Woo, woo. Super. All right, let's try the next one. Maybe I can go like this. I don't know, you guys. I should just think about things before I start my video. Okay, does this help? What if I go like this? Yeah. Do we like this better? I don't. All right. Jumping ship. Going back to what we had. Sorry. Sorry, you guys. I apologize. Okay. Here we go. So this time, again, label your sides. 32 is our hypotenuse. X is across from our 30, so it's our short. And Y would be our long. All right. We've labeled. Next step. Okay, they didn't give us our short this time. They weren't very kind, but they were still pretty nice because it's easier to work now backwards from your hypotenuse than it is your longer leg. So if I know my hypotenuse is 2 times my short leg, well, it's pretty simple to find the short leg. We just divide by 2. So 32 divided by 2 is 16. Yes, yes it is. And now it's very simple to find your longer leg because we know our short, it's 16. Plug it in here, 16 times root 3. Done deal. We got her. Yep. Okay. Let's now try, we'll see how this goes. This one here, okay? So label our sides. Again, that's always our first step. So if we label, Y would be our short leg, X is our hypotenuse, 20 is our long. Oof, we haven't done one like this. That's okay. We'll figure it out, as we always do. So look here, kids. Our longer leg equals X times root 3. So we got to find our short leg first. We have to. So I'm looking for that X. So I'm going to put 20 instead of equal to X root 3. Now, it's kind of like the last one we just did. I'm running out of space. Who's a hot mess? I'm a hot mess. All right. We want to get X alone. So how do you undo times by root 3? We divide by root 3. Divide by root 3. So now those go away like before. So we have x equals 20 over root 3. Now again, I hope you're thinking, dang it, we have that root 3 in the bottom. How did she get rid of it before? Well, I'll show you. Remember, we multiply by what's in the denominator. So root 3 over root 3, our special version of 1. And then we multiply across. So 20 root 3 over what's root 3 times root 3? It's square root of 9, which is really just 3. Now let's look. Can I reduce this 3 evenly going to 20? It doesn't. So we're just going to leave it like this. So that's our short leg. It's 20 root 3 over 3. And then to get your hypotenuse, we double it. So we take this times 2. Okay, so if I do that, remember 2 is really over 1. So you multiply across with fractions. So 20 times 2 is 40. I'm running out of space. Can you guys just trust me? It's right here. 40 root 3. And with 3 times 1 down here, it's just 3. Woo! That was a bit of a doozy. I hope I haven't lost you completely. Please just hang tight. The next one's going to build your confidence again. So just, again, it's a learning curve. We'll eventually get it if you're not getting it now. All right, this one. Here we go. Label our sides. X is our short, Y is our hypotenuse, and 9 root 3 is our long. So again, we're starting with our long, and we were trying to find our short because that's what everything's based around is our short leg. So we're going to have 9 root 3 is equal to x root 3. Again, our goal is to get x alone here. So I have to divide by root 3, divide by root 3. But hey, they were pretty nice to us. Look what happens, kids. Both of those are saying, see you later, gonzos. So we just know that x is 9. Yep. And now our life's pretty easy. Our short leg is 9. Our hypotenuse is twice that amount. So 9 times 2 is 18. And you know what? We might as well just go out with a bang on this last one. This is quite the problem, but it's nothing we all can't handle together. Okay. Maybe I'll go like this. Yeah, that looks like a good spot. Okay, so we kind of have a lot going on here. Do you guys first off see we have a 45, 45, 90 triangle here. And then we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle happening here. So we know the leg here on this 45, 45, 90, right? So this is a leg or a leg. And this guy over here is a leg. So they're the same, right? So we might as well just put 32 over here just to see if it helps us. Okay. Now, how do we find our hypotenuse if we know the leg of a 45, 45, 90? Well, if we look at our little cheat sheet, our hypotenuse is just our leg times root 2. So now we're going to take 32 times root 2. Okay, so x is done. That wasn't too bad. Got that done. And now we just have the same kind of triangle we were just working with a bunch. So if we label our 30, 60, 90, z would be our short, y is our long, 32 is our hypotenuse. So now, again, this one's actually pretty nice to us. We're working backwards from our hypotenuse. Our hypotenuse is twice our short leg. So to find z, our short leg, we just divide it by 2. So 32 divided by 2, kids, is 16. And then to find your longer leg, we just multiply by the square root of 3. So 16 root 3. And now we're done. Okay, I have no idea how that went for you. It was kind of fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. Know that we are going to do a bunch of examples together in class tomorrow. It's just going to be a grand old time. Thank you for watching. You guys are the true heroes. I miss you. We'll talk to you in class. Goodbye.